Hey, start with your lecture.
Hi, my name is Bob Phillips, tower operator with the Union Pacific Railroad in Springfield, Illinois. Okay, we left out of New Orleans on Amtrak trackage. When we got up to Southport, which is at the end of the curve off of Amtrak trackage, we crossed the KCS main line. There's a diamond there. We entered CN trackage. We ran on the CN all the way till we got to East Bridge Junction. At East Bridge Junction, we went through the curve, and when we got off the curve, the so-called connecting track, right, the tower was to the right of us. We were then on NOPB trackage. We remained on NOPB trackage until we came off the straight track on the Huey P. Long Bridge. When we made the curve to the right, we entered the UP Livonia main track, part of the Livonia subdivision, even though it's interlocking limits of West Bridge Junction. We immediately went through a crossover, which is a UP crossover. And as soon as
is there a name for that crossover?
The 15 crossover.
Okay.
I know, because I worked the job for 8.5 years.
All right. Okay.
So anyway, once we got through that crossover, immediately west of there, there's a double-headed signal on the left-hand side. And that's the end of the West Bridge Junction interlocking.
Okay.
Well, from there, there's about 2 car lengths of track, and there's a hand throw switch right there. That is part of the Livonia subdivision. It's yard limits, but it's part of the Livonia subdivision.
Is it considered CTC, or is it dark track, or what?
No, it's dark track.
Okay.
It's yard limits, dark territory.
Yard limits, dark territory. Okay.
Then from there, when you go to the curve to the right, like we did, you end up on the BNSF Lafayette subdivision. As soon as you get through that turnout, you're on the BNSF Lafayette sub.
And that's milepost what, and considered what station on the Lafayette, on the BNSF?
That would be West Bridge Junction.
As far as BNSF is concerned?
That's correct.
Okay, that's their West Bridge Junction milepost 10.2.
Correct.
Okay.
And if you read it, I think it says something about yard limits from 10.2 to 10.3 being controlled by the UP Yardmaster.
Okay.
So, but once you get through that and that turnout, you're on BNSF property.
And that's what we did today.
Correct. We used the BNSF main line to go to South Avon Junction.
So we used the BNSF main line from 10.2 to
14.3.
If it's at South Avon Junction, that's correct.
Well, they have Avondale, then they have Live Oak, then they have Salix.
Right. Well, see, they don't show those control points in there.
No, they don't. They're not that detailed. Huh?
Right.
So for mileage computation, we should consider it 14.8 Live Oak, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
then at Live Oak, we switched back over to the Livonia sub,
the
right?
UP Livonia sub, and we went the #1 main all the way to Emma Junction.
To Emma Junction?
Emma Junction, that's correct. That's where we entered the single track.
Oh, okay. Okay, and then we took that all the way to Livonia.
Correct.
Okay.
Then at Livonia, we went through the crossovers and turned the corner and entered the Beaumont sub.
Okay, I guess I got it. So that's the confusing part, is over there by Avondale.
Yeah, as I said, from south to north, you've got the UP Avondale sub. And this is from Live Oak, basically, going south, or going east, I should say, in this particular case.
Yeah.
You've got the Avondale sub main line, which is the old SP route. The next to that, you've got the BNSF Lafayette sub.
There's a big yard in between the two, though, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
And then you've got the UP Livonia sub next to that.
Okay.
And they still, to this very day, even though there is no technical track number designation, they still refer to the BNSF between South Avon Junction and West Bridge Junction as the #1 main, even though it technically doesn't have a number to it anymore. Then they refer to the #2 main as the Livonia sub. That's what the Livonia
backwards.
sub.
That should be like backwards.
Well, because it's a north-south subdivision.
Oh, okay.
That's the other part of it. The Avondale sub is east and west. The BNSF Lafayette sub is east and west, and the Livonia sub is north and south.
Jeez.
Wow.
So
So the Sunset doesn't ever use this Avondale sub anymore.
Very seldom. If the BNSF main line is not,
it's dispatcher discretion. Huh?
No, it's basically if the 1 and 2 are supposed to use the BNSF main between those 2 points unless the BNSF blocks it. If they block it, then if the UP has either of the other two subs available, then they can use one of them. But very, very seldom will you see them use the Avondale sub or the Livonia sub to go up to Live Oak from east to west.
Okay, and all this changed after the BNSF, or after the... About what time did all this happen?
1997, when they put in the connection at South Avon Junction in Live Oak.
Okay, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so today we took the New Orleans Public Belt, and then we took the transfer track, and we had the little segment on the UP Livonia sub for about 2 car lengths.
1 or 2 car lengths, yeah.
Okay, then we took the BNSF Lafayette sub to what they consider to be Live Oak.
Well, South Avon Junction. Yeah, BNSF is Live Oak.
In BNSF's timetable, they refer to it as Live Oak.
Correct.
And then we crossed over to the number...
Well, we didn't cross over. We took the natural straight track crossover from the BNSF Lafayette sub to the Livonia sub number 1 main line.
And that happened at what location?
At South Avon Junction.
South Avon Junction.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. I guess we got it all figured out now.
Okay.
I had no idea it was that complicated.
Oh yeah.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I